It's
It's not there.
Okay, everybody, can you please mute yourself? For some reason, it's not letting me mute everybody, so we can get started. Can everybody please mute themselves so we can get started?
Mute themselves.
Let's see if I can do that.
Okay, I think we're good. Perfect. All right, so welcome everybody to our first virtual dinner party. So in this time of quarantine, community is more important than anything. You know, in this time of being separate and alone, it's so important for us to come together because it's easy to isolate, it's easy to feel nervous and scared. And so it's interesting because for me, I created Roslyn Salt Cave. You know, I created in my head 25 years ago, and I wanted to have this blank canvas of healing so that people could come to a place, to a community where they felt safe, where they had hope, where they had, you know, they always say that it takes a village or it takes an army, but I wanted to create that army for you.
Try again.
Oh, somebody is not muted. Let me go down. So that's what we've done in creating Roslyn Salt Cave. And, you know, there was that movie a long time ago with Kevin Costner. Yes, I know, I'm old. And it was the movie at the baseball where they said, you know, build it and they will come. And that's what's happened for me with Roslyn Salt Cave. I built it. I didn't know, I knew a lot of healers and I knew a lot about healing because of my own journey of wellness. But every day, amazing people just walked into the cave, healer after healer after healer. And so tonight, you're going to get a taste of some of those healers. And we do these dinners often in the cave. We have the community dinners where we'll have a farm to table dinner prepared by a chef or a great restaurant. And then we have somebody do a great, interesting talk about wellness. And then you go into the Soul Cave and do sound healing. So we've recreated this for this evening for us. So I wanted to just share a little bit of the outline of what's going to happen tonight. So, you know, nobody's going to be put on the spot. Nobody's going to, you know, you don't have to speak at all if you don't want to. But if you do, towards the end of the program, I'm going to ask if anyone has, you know, anything positive to share or a great story or something that they've seen that's inspired them in this time. And just a couple of tips. Don't look at any news anymore about coronavirus. We all have way too much information in our heads about coronavirus, more than we ever need to hear again. So the most important thing now is just keep your vibration high. You know, do things like whatever it is that makes you happy, whether it's go for a walk, it was gorgeous out there today, whether it's meditate, yoga, you know, just have a nice conversation, watch a funny movie, light your candles, whatever it is that you think, take a 4-hour bath if you want, you know, do things that make you happy. And so I wanted to say, like, this program came together because of Mary O'Keefe, who I'm going to introduce you to, and Linda Chondrogiannis. I'm sure I said that wrong. I'm so sorry, love. I always say that wrong. But just back to, if you are interested in, you know, sharing something positive towards the end of this program, and I'll tell you when, send me a private chat and then I'll unmute you and bring you in. So the program tonight, we're going to get started in a few minutes. I'm going to have Mary O'Keefe come in. I'm going to explain who she is, and she's going to do a little prayer. And then I'm going to bring in Linda, and she's going to tell you all about the wellness community and what it is we're doing and why, if you did make her food, why are you eating this delicious food and how food is medicine. And then we are so lucky that we got an unbelievable comedian, Talia Reese. I'm going to tell you about her later. She's coming on. Then we have some New York jazz journeymen, Nick and Chris. I'll tell you about them. After that, we're going to share a couple of positive stories. And then at the very end, we're going to end with Paula Jennings, who's going to be doing some sound healing. So that's the program. I see you, Paula. That's the program for the evening. So the first, let's jump right in. So first, I want to introduce you all to Mary O'Keefe. So Mary was one of those little fairy angels who popped into the cave one day. She just happened to walk in. And what Mary does is she reads Akashic records. And you're like, what is she saying in that South African accent? It's Akashic records. So what that is she gives readings about your life's path from the perspective of your soul. If anyone's interested in that, you know, I'm happy to share that at a later stage. So Mary, where are you, love? Come on in. I'm looking for Mary. I'm getting comments. Mary's brilliant. Oh, there, I see you. I can't unmute you. Oh, unmute you.
I had myself on mute, sorry.
Okay, good.
So I'm going to start with a poem that our friend Tom had sent us. It's this beautiful poem. Sorry, there's a car driving by. That was written about lockdown a few weeks ago, just as Italy was heading into where we are now. And I'm just going to share that, and then we're going to do a little prayer. So I'll begin. It's called Lockdown. Yes, there is fear. Yes, there is isolation. Oop. Yes, there is panic buying. Yes, there is sickness. Yes, there is even death. But they say in Wuhan, after so many years of noise, you can hear the birds sing again. They say that after just a few weeks of quiet, the sky is no longer thick with fumes. They say that in the streets of Assisi, Italy, people are singing to each other across the empty squares, keeping their windows open so that those who are alone may hear the sounds of family around them. They say that a hotel in the west of Ireland is offering free meals and deliveries to the housebound. All over the world, people are slowing down and reflecting. All over the world, people are looking at their neighbors in a new way. All over the world, people are waking up to a new reality, to how big we really are, to how little control we really have, to what really matters, to love. So we pray and we remember. Yes, there is fear, but there does not have to be hate. Yes, there is isolation, but there does not have to be loneliness. Yes, there is sickness, but there does not have to be disease of the soul. Yes, there is even death, but there can always be a rebirth of love. Wake to the choices you make as to how to live now. Today, breathe. The sky is clearing, spring is here, and we are always encompassed by love. Open the windows of your soul. And though you may not be able to touch across the empty square, sing. So I was going to take a moment now for us to pray for all of those who are sick, for all who have passed, and for all who are on the front line. We pray for the doctors and the nurses and the aides, the hospital workers and the hospital cleaners. We pray for the firemen and the police, the EMS workers and the military, those working in grocery stores and pharmacies, transit workers and truckers, bringing food and supplies all over the world. And on a personal note, I want to pray for my neighbor and family friend, John Sullivan, who is on the front line as a critical care nurse at NYU, and his sisters, Bridget and Mary Claire, are with us tonight. We want to open up the floor right now for anyone who has anyone they would like to pray for, family member or friend that's being affected right now, and we'll put them in the prayer circle and all pray for them.
So you could just, either think their names or say their names out loud. And then, Mary, go ahead, sweetheart.
So any names we want to put in the circle?
I'd like to put Lauren Adikoff in. She's a friend of mine's daughter who has special needs and Down syndrome. She was diagnosed and is in the hospital right now, so I'm praying for her.
I'd like to put my niece Sienna in. She's working on the front lines in Dublin, Ireland.
I'd like to put my cousin Lori, who's a nurse. She's kind of on the front lines at Winthrop, and my son Ian, who is out and about. He's not a nurse. He's an essential worker, but he's out there doing his part.
Also, I wanted to pray for Xiomara Medina. She's my friend. She actually was diagnosed with COVID, but she's staying home. She's not in the hospital. She has a mild case. Hopefully she's gonna get better.
And also I'd like to put in my Aunt Francine. She's fighting for her life right now in ICU with COVID.
Oh my God.
Okay, so we'll just take a moment of silence and just, and if there's anyone else that you want to add silently, we'll all just do a collective prayer in our heads to whatever God we pray to. Thank you, guys. And then I'll hand it over back to Wendy and Linda.
Okay, guys, so I just want to make sure everybody's muted. It's meant to be. Okay, so now I have to introduce you to Linda. Wait, I've got to say this right. Andrea, John, Linda, please help, love.
It's Linda C. My maiden name and married name. So it's Linda Chondrogiannis.
Chondrogiannis, for God's sake. So Linda C. also one day just walked into the Salt Cave, and I was like, who is this brilliant, beautiful fairy? So Linda is a health coach. She's also a health concierge, and she works out of the Salt Cave. And Linda will do all kinds of things, like she'll come in and she'll take you shopping at the supermarket and help you read labels, or she'll design a wellness program just for you. So Linda is, she does so many different things. She teaches you how to eat properly, how to live properly. It's a real holistic approach to what she does. And so all the recipes came from Linda in Linda's kitchen, and she's been recording all these videos of what you should be buying and what's going to last, so you spend less time at the supermarket. And so Linda, if you can go ahead, love, and explain, like, why are we eating all this food? And tell us who you are and why are we doing this tonight?
Thanks, Wendy. So over the last few weeks, I know we have people from all over the world on here. My family's on here from Australia. So we've been in lockdown here since the 12th. And from that, I know I had a roller coaster of emotions going on. Fear was driving a lot of it. And I had a lot of people speaking to me about that. And we knew from what we've been doing at the Salt Cave, not just myself, I have a community of wonderful women, Susan, Corinne, Liz, Vula, who we do these wonderful community dinners down at the Salt Cave. And everything that I also do with my health coaching, it is about community and bringing everybody together, because health starts with the people that you surround yourself with. So with Wendy and Mary, we were like, we need to do this virtually. And everyone saying to me, how on earth are you having a dinner party virtually? And I'm like, the same way you normally would, the only way we can see each other. But I wanted to give you recipes that you could use that were very simple. And my recipes are never meant to be used that you need to do it verbatim. You don't have to follow every single little ingredient. You can mix and change things up. So every ingredient has been put in there to support our immune system. From the ginger, the garlic, the onion, to the beets, the oranges, the vitamin C, the turmeric for inflammation, the onions, which have quercetin in them. Everything that the doctors or natural holistic doctors are telling us to boost our systems with, you really need to look at food as medicine. And I have to give praise to my parents who are on here, because this is how I was raised. I didn't know it growing up, but it was around me all the time. My mother is an amazing cook, so everything I've learned has come from her, but she'll tell you I never cooked as a child or even as a young adult. My father is a greengrocer. He always came in with have visions of him walking in with boxes of fruit and veggies on his shoulder, bringing it to us all the time. And that's all I knew. But the way they were cooking and raising us was food as medicine. Thank you. Yes, my mum is the best cook. Susan has been to Australia and been at my parents' house. So this is what my heritage and what I've learned, and what I've learned through my own education is how we need to treat that. Food is medicine, and part of that is also community. There's one thing that through all of this, like how I started, that fear was like really driving me in the beginning, and I changed that, and it was through community that changed it. And one of the things that really settled into me was a quote that was, I think I shared it with you, Wendy, and it's, hope and fear cannot occupy the same space. So you have to make a choice, invite which one of them to stay. So I've chosen hope. I'm not going to live in fear. So I want everybody to raise their glass, whether you have a glass of wine, a glass of water, or a cup of tea, because I know that's what my parents had. And I want to make a toast to health, love, hope, and laughter. Cheers.
Yeah.
And talking about laughter, when we were discussing this, we said we wanted this event to rise the vibration of everybody. Nobody can be living in fear. We have to make it fun. And all of us were like, we need a comedian. So Wendy was like, I'm putting that out there to the universe and we're going to get a comedian. And literally that's what happened. Joyce found one, contacted Wendy, and she did that. So I'm handing this back to Wendy because we have some fabulous entertainment coming up. And these people we are so much gratitude towards because they're offering this up as a free service to us during these times. So thanks, Wendy.
That was brilliant, Linda. You see everybody why I love her? And you, Mary. You see why I love you? So, yes, that's what happened. We put it out to the universe and we said, okay, can you bring us a comedian? Because we don't want to see so much sad stuff. We want somebody who makes us laugh. And then Joyce sends me this comedian, Talia Reese. And I'm like, she is like our Mrs. Maisel. I'm like, okay, universe, could you please get her? Because she's brilliant. So I just want to tell you a little bit about Talia before we get started. So Talia, she performs in crowds all over the religious spectrum, and she performs regularly in New York City clubs. She's also constantly headlining Jewish fundraisers and galas. She's a graduate of the University of Pennsylvania and former Paul Weiss corporate attorney. Boy, you better be careful of that. The New York Post recently featured a nearly full-page article about her life and comedy entitled Orthodox Jewish Comic Finds Balance Between Raunch and Religion. Totally Mrs. Maisel, but a little naughtier, I think. And they called her a hot ticket. And then Newsday Long Island has also taken notice, calling her a rising star. And Talia's a regular contributor to Fox News and Sirius XM, and her jokes and whereabouts are often mentioned in Cindy Adams, the legendary Page 6. So we better not do anything naughty tonight because you know that's going straight on there. And she also has appeared on the Wendy Williams Show and Spike TV. So Talia, I'm going to bring you in, sweetheart. Thank you so much for coming on our, uplifting evening to make everybody happy. And yeah, Talia, guys.
Can I just interrupt real quick? Can everybody mute? Because there's a little chatter. I don't know what it is, but there's this little.
Can you see me? Can you hear me? Oh, we're all on mute now.
No, you're good, love.
All right, I'm good. Thank you so much, Wendy. And wow, and Linda. You got those accents. You got to listen to me now. You guys are stuck. Listen to this local yokel accent. I don't know. I'm ready to turn it back over to them and just sit back. You could just say whatever you want all night and I would listen, and doesn't even have to be a joke. That was like just really nice. I'm just sitting here in Great Neck. I'll say this though, during the day, I am a first responder. So on Facebook, yeah. So friend me and I will like all of your posts. I have a lot of time. But yeah, so don't you wish you invested in a mobile home right now, by the way? I know that's not like a big Roslyn thing, but geez, man, I wish I had done that. How's everyone doing? I can see a few of you. You're doing all right in your quarantine? Yeah? Any divorces yet? No? Yeah. No, I'm telling you, you didn't really know your spouse, did you? Okay. I know you. I didn't even know the color of my husband's eyes until yesterday. I mean, I talk to him all the time. I said to him, I always thought your eyes were closed because that's how he is when I talk. But he's working from home now. He's practicing law. These days, practicing law involves a lot of Xbox. I didn't know that. I don't know if you knew that. It's been a while for me. He's from Canada, actually. Not quite as exotic as you two ladies. But hey, he's from Winnipeg, Canada, which is not a hot spot. In any sense of that term, good or bad. But he says he's just going to move back there after all this. And I don't blame him. He's from Winnipeg. They don't have the coronavirus in Winnipeg. It's 40 below every day over there. They plug in their cars. The women, they grow hair on their chest. I mean, it's horrible. I'll tell you, if they ever find Bigfoot, it'll be a woman from Winnipeg. My mother-in-law, that's who. Now, even the virus was like, I am not going over there. But yeah, that's where you want to be right now, like the least desirable place ever. I love making fun of him. No, it's too desirable here. That's the problem. That's why we're a hot spot. You know, it'll make you bonkers. I know. But anyway, so you heard a little bit about me. I'm a proud Jewish woman, yeah, and I love living in New York. I mean, not now, but I do normally love it. You know, especially during holiday season. You know, like when I'm walking in Times Square and somebody wishes me a Merry Christmas. You know, because that's how I know my nose job is working. You know, I'm really looking forward to Passover tomorrow night, right? Easter, Passover. Finally, some alone time with the family. It's a lot, guys. It is a lot. You know, we were going to enforce a 2-drink minimum tonight. We were, but then we realized that's nothing for us now. Right, moms? Like anyone having the 4 cups of wine tomorrow at the Seder, I mean, they should just, you know, make it 4 bottles this year. Our tolerance is like way up there. You know? Get your wine though. Seriously, get it now before they declare it non-essential, because you know that is coming. By the way, this is the first time I put on makeup in about 5 days, so you better be laughing. I can't hear you, because I'm gonna actually have to wash my face tonight. Look,
I heard tonight, my friend posted, state of New Mexico closed all the liquor stores.
Yeah, I see. I told you it was coming. Thank you for that, by the way. Just chime in, you know. No, I'm kidding. That was relevant, and that is true. You know, look, get your wine now. You thought you were going to write that novel, clean your whole house. You're not. You're not going to do it. You're in bed eating ice cream in your sweatpants every day. Right? That's what it is. I feel like I'm my mother back in the 1980s, you know, like when I was growing up, except instead of watching the soaps, it's the, the Trump press conference, the Cuomo Brothers Hour, and I'll even watch Laura, the Nassau County executive. You know, de Blasio, I skip that one. I start cooking. But it's funny, if you notice the difference between all the press conferences, is so funny. You know, at the presidential level, it's like, yeah, I passed a bill today giving small businesses the loans they need to continue covering employee payroll. It's like, all right, cool. Then you listen to the governor and he's like, we're sending all the PPE to the hospitals. We're lifting regulations so the trucks can flow more freely and get there faster. It's nice, you know. Then you listen to the Nassau County executive and she's like, guys, you got to stop clogging your toilets, all right? I'm looking at you, Garden City. Stop flushing your Swiffers. We're having a sewage problem here. So just so many different levels to this. Now, I don't know if you've gone to the supermarket. Probably some of you had to. I finally went wearing a mask because honestly, I was scared to run into my mother without my makeup on. She's brutal and we live in the same town. And by the way, it totally worked. I saw her. She didn't even recognize. I was calling out to her, Mom.
You muted yourself.
All right. Thanks for telling me. I actually didn't touch anything. So somebody out there has the power to mute me. And if you don't like me, just leave. I'll leave the meeting, but try not to mute me. So let's see. Where was I? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen my mother in over a month. And she lives a mile away. But for us, that's not unusual. Yeah, that's a joke if you know us. But we often do have lunch anyway over FaceTime. She just prefers it that way. She always says, I don't want you and the kids cocking up my house. So really, we're good with this whole thing. My mother is actually the happiest she's been in a long time, which I know sounds really odd, but she's sort of been saying, she's crying, the world is ending, the world is ending. She's been saying that for years now, except now she gets to say, I told you so. So she's very happy. Also, my two brothers who are living with her now, they're not doctors. So, you know, Jewish mothers have never been happier to have non-doctor sons. You know, your son who never moved out of the house, he's actually considered a hero now. So, yeah, so she's very relaxed, very happy. I'll say this, I'm not interested in being a mother right now, which is a shame since I have two daughters. Yeah. I'll also say this, my kids have gotten so desperate, my girls so desperate for social interaction, they've actually started talking to me. You know, it's confiding in me, you know, saying things like, oh, and I wrote this down, saying things like, you're the only mom in Great Neck who doesn't have a Louis Vuitton bag. You have no style. Oh, or my two favorites. You could be really pretty if you tried, mommy. And my absolute favorite, I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just being honest. By the way, I want to say one other thing. If any of you actually are using the quarantine as an opportunity to get in shape or to better yourself in any way, Wendy is proud of you, but I actually hate you. So, yeah. Guys, there's so much to talk about right now. It's crazy. There's a lot of hysteria. You on WhatsApp groups, a lot of you in your community, right? I'm on like a million of these things, and the rules have changed. You know, people were posting crazy things like, forward this message to 10 people and you won't get coronavirus. You know, or if you stand on your head, gargle with vinegar and shove a ginger root up your ass, you won't get coronavirus. You know, the Messiah is coming. It's like, all right, thanks, Michelle. I'll just stick to my Instacart order. I mean, the admins had to take over these groups. Or in the school WhatsApps, these are my favorite. The school mom WhatsApps. Connor has no structure. The teachers are our heroes. It's like, well, which is it? Which is it? People are going crazy. And now the admins, they're like, they've disabled all the comments on these groups. Have you noticed it? You know, now only 2 or 3 people can post 10 minutes apart. I call it the social distancing of WhatsApp. I mean, everything's crazy. Everything's, but I think we're throwing around the term front lines a bit much. Just gonna put that out there, you know. Like I said to my friend Dina, who's a pediatrician, I said to her, you know, you are a true hero now. I salute you. And she goes, I'm only seeing patients through telehealth. So I'm like, okay. By the way, this mic is just fake. I'm just gonna, wasn't that fun? I still sound sort of like a lot of the masks you're wearing. It's kind of fake. Now, look, every week things are changing, right? Like last week, we made fun of people for wearing latex gloves to the supermarket. This week, we're yelling at them for raw handing it, okay? You gotta wear your gloves or you're a pariah. Listen, Holiday Farms right now, you know this is true. Holiday Farms is like your community brothel. Okay, you gotta wear protection. You don't want anyone to see your face going in. And by the time you're done, you're out $500. Oh, and you keep going back for more, even though you know you shouldn't. Now, I don't know about your supermarket, but at our local one, seniors can now shop exclusively between 7 and 8 a.m., which is actually no different than it ever was. They're calling it senior hour. Apparently, they tried this in Publix in Florida, but it was just too mobbed, so they had to end it. By the way, I'm also told that at the kosher supermarket here in town, you can get an after-hours appointment if you spend $500 or more, and if you spend $1,000 or more over Passover, you can get enough food to feed a family of 4. So these are great deals. So fun doing this material. Like this material is going to be old in 2 weeks. So I'm really glad. And then one day, hopefully you'll come and see my regular act. I don't know. This is crazy. Before all this, when I go to restaurants, and you were probably the same, right? Like if I would smell cleaning fluid, like if you were at the Salt Cave now and you smelled cleaning fluid near your food, you'd be like, oh my God, I am out of here. This is disgusting, right? I mean, I was like, ew, it's such a turnoff. Now, if I smell Clorox like near my squash soup, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Yeah. In fact, when I make mine tomorrow, I may sprinkle some in. I don't know. I can't believe I'm cooking though this week. I just can't believe it. Thank you. Thanks, Susan. Now, we were supposed to go away for spring break. Like I know a lot of you were. This is a painful subject. I know. I had to really bother my husband about it. When I first brought up going away for spring break in the fall, he gave me that old Henny Youngman line. You know, I said, I want to go someplace I've never seen before. And he said, why don't you try the kitchen? Well, he got his wish. A couple more things we can talk about before I go. So there's a moratorium, a ban for the kids watching on elective surgery and other non-essential medical visits right now. Hair places closed, hair places, nail places. Another month, we're all going to look our age. Yeah. You're going to see one of your friends and be like, oh my God, she's in her 50s. Like, I had no idea. That's crazy. And by the way, have you noticed that the more you stay home, the more homeless you actually look? Just something I noticed. And by the way, why would you do your nails now anyway? Like, it wouldn't even make any sense. We're so busy cleaning our houses because our housekeepers, they don't want to know from us. They don't want to come anywhere near us because let's face it, half of you were in Italy in February, okay? I've got a few masks. I'm going to use them when it's time for toilet cleaning day. Yeah. Great Neck and Roslyn ladies cleaning our own toilets. You know what? The Messiah is coming. Now, I've heard a lot of you couldn't live without your nannies and your housekeepers. So you literally made your live outs live in, otherwise known as slavery, by the way. Oh, Maria wanted to be with us instead of her husband and baby. She preferred it, really. Yeah, I'm sure she did. I'm sure she chose it. So, I don't know. I'm going to wrap up, you guys. There's too many emails coming through, right? There's just too many emails. I feel like they're kind of tone deaf. Like Bloomingdale's told me they have a flattering bra for me. I mean, really, it's now the time. And honestly, I'm just going to say it. I really don't care what Sephora is doing about the virus. I just don't. God, I just can't believe I'm going to be home for Passover. God. I really feel like I understand what the Jews in Egypt went through now. Home with their kids, stuck at home during a plague. What was that one? The slaying of the firstborn? Okay, I'm just putting this out there, okay? But don't you think maybe there were like just a couple of moms who, whoops, forgot to put the blood on the doorpost? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, oh, my oldest, he's so annoying. I can't deal. Just putting it out there. So I'm gonna wrap up. I mean, how do you end a call now, anyway? What do you say? Oh, I gotta go. No, you don't. Where are you gonna go? What are you gonna go watch your water boil or your bananas ripen? It's just hard. Like the only way to get off the phone now is to say, I have to go to the bathroom, and that's it. So guys, I gotta go. But remember. We've got to thank Wendy for doing this. This is really great to be here. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Talia Reese Comic, Reese like Reese's peanut butter, at Talia Reese Comic. Friend me on Facebook, Talia Reese, and check out my YouTube page where I really make fun of Roslyn moms. All right, I love you guys. Thank you. So I'm the same. I'm Great Neck.
Talia, that's so hard, love, because you can't hear everybody clapping for you and you can't hear them laughing. My mouth's sore from that. That was hilarious. We're going to send everybody those emails you were talking about. I'm so sorry. We're going to send everybody a follow-up one of how to get hold of you because you're unbelievable. I'm going to
thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for your time, love.
That's a good email. Yeah. Mwah. I'm going to stick around. I want to hear the rest.
So let's get to the next part of this. So I want to introduce you all to the New York Jazz Journeymen. So it's Chris Forbes and Nick.
Yes.
Gianni. I'm just looking for you, Nick. Hold on. Where are you, love? Let's look for Nick. Is Nick here?
He was.
I know. I saw him. All right. Let's see where Nick is. Well, okay. Because I'm going to tell you guys about them, and hopefully Nick I'll send him a text in the meantime. Thank God for technology. And see where.
Wendy, he's there. You need to unmute him.
I don't see him. Hold on a second.
Guy with the
Nick, you could also unmute yourself.
Let me just see. Hold on.
Hello.
Nick, you there?
There you are.
All right. Thank God.
I unmuted myself.
Perfect. Okay, I'm really good at healing and bringing in healers, but I suck at technology, guys. I'm so sorry. So I'm going to just tell you guys about these two. So I have a friend and a client, Larry Ross, and I know he's on there somewhere. And he walked in one day and he said, you know what you should do? You should have these guys. It's a jazz meditation. And there's a guy, his name is Nick Gianni, and he does this unbelievable jazz meditation. You should have him on. I'm like, oh my God, that's a brilliant idea. I reach out to Nick. I'm a stranger stalking him on Instagram. And I said, is there any way that you would come to my soul cave and do this guided meditation in the soul cave? And he's like, yeah. So that's how we come to these guys. So it's Christopher Forbes, and there's Chris. Everybody see him?
Hi.
And so Chris got married 2 months ago. And I mean, seriously, 2 months ago, he was newly married. Chris, how is that, love? How is that being?
You know, we've been treating this. Well, it's my husband actually, but we have been treating this as the honeymoon. That's all right. We've been treating this as the honeymoon we didn't get. So it's actually been kind of lovely. Yes.
Well,
in a weird sort of way.
I think that you're happy. You look good. And then here is Nick. So Nick plays the saxophone. He plays the flute. How are you, Nick?
I'm doing all right. Much better now. Thank you.
So guys, thank you. These two have volunteered their time just to give us some live entertainment, because nothing speaks to you more than live music. Goes straight into your soul. So guys, if you could go ahead and play for us for a bit, and thank you for your time.
I just want to say to people that this is a little bit of an experiment, because I haven't done this live on a Zoom yet. So I'm hoping the technology will work. All right, so Nick, let's just C major maybe.
Sure, bud.
You could see everybody clapping, but you can't.
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
Okay, that experiment worked.
Yeah, it sounded okay?
Yeah.
That's good to know.
So if anybody like that, it's in the cave, it's like a million times even like more amazing. But guys, seriously, that was so great.
Well, thank you.
That was beautiful. You lifted my spirits. Like, people are already getting a good feeling from this, and your intention to do it and is so good. And thank you.
Brilliant.
Well,
Thanks for inviting us.
It's our pleasure.
We'll see you in the Soul Cave, but stay on. We got more
Thank
to
you
chat
so
about.
much.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Susan's iPhone.
So guys, so now it's the part of the program where we wanted to see if anyone's got anything, positive to share. We've, in this time, I feel like I personally believe that this has been divinely orchestrated, and that the universe really wanted to slow us down and make us take a look at your lives and our lives. Well, for me, this is, what I'm getting out of it. And there are some moments that are really hard. And there's some moments where I personally have been, it's hard to get motivated, or it's hard to get out of bed, or sometimes it's a difficult journey because it feels a little bit endless, but we have a choice to make. We can decide, are we going to, get caught in that negative spiral because it's so easy to go there? Or are we going to try and look at the positive and really do, really focus on, something good, or learning something about ourselves, even if it's a difficult thing, because now all our stuff's coming out, all of our fears. And, being able to look at that and move through it and communicating with our families better. There's so much good in this. And I'm sorry, I'm going on and on and on, because I'm such a believer in that our thoughts create our reality. And I just wanted to give one tip before I bring people in. If ever anyone has a great story to share, or just something positive people are doing. But the most important thing is, when you go to bed at night, people usually lie down and they start thinking about, the bad things that happen through the day, and they start processing the arguments they have, or the things that bother them during the day. That's the complete wrong thing to do. You should be thinking about good thoughts and things that you're grateful for and something that made you happy. Because when you go to sleep, you've got 6 or 7 or 8 or now, 10 hours of your consciousness, like focusing on what you just put in your head when you went to sleep. So I just wanted to give you that thought, that what I do when I go to sleep is I really think about the good things that happened or something that I truly am grateful for. So I know, I'm not sure like if anybody, there's so many good comments coming through about the comedians and about the music. And I'm so happy because our goal, Mary and Linda and I, was just to lift everyone's spirits, just to show that we are all in this together. Like, I feel like I'm sitting in a room with you guys and chatting. I mean, never mind that some of us aren't wearing pants. That was a choice. But we, I think that this is just a nice thing to do. And if you guys liked it, we'll keep doing it. But I don't know if anybody has a nice story that they wanted to share. I'm also starting another like segment. I've been interviewing people with tips. Like I interviewed Linda because she's a health coach, and she gave us tips on, what we should be buying at the supermarket so we don't have to make these frequent trips, and like what lasts the most. And so then I'm interviewing people about breathing properly or different exercises that you can do, just a few minutes of tips each day. And so I'm going to actually ask you guys all a favor. In this time, I started a new platform, and that was YouTube. I decided to just put short little videos on of everybody, just to try, if somebody just needs a little pick me up. So I'm going to ask you all if you could please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I only have 14 subscribers right now, but it's a baby, it's still new. So if you could please do that. And then I'm going to share a story. I have someone I interviewed, her name's Kristen Scandon, and she's a motivator and an entrepreneur. And so what she decided to do is dress up as an Easter bunny, and she is going, driving past houses. She put it on Facebook. Parents actually asked her, she's doing it as a free service. She's just waving as she drives past, or she's going to hop around the garden in her Easter bunny suit, just to lift, kids' spirits, because the kids are missing out on so many things. And if you can think of, this is the time to be creative. If you think of an idea, no matter how silly it is, like, let me share this one with you. I told my kids, how everybody's standing at the lines, at the supermarket lines, and they are waiting for hours and hours, especially if you go to Trader Joe's. So I said, I'm going to bring a boombox and my friend who does workouts with me, and that could be Gina Duffy, who's on this call right there. And we're going to play music, and we're going to say to everybody, everybody right in place, jumping jacks. And not because we're really going to make them work out, but because it's funny. My kids are like, Mom, whatever you do, please don't do that anywhere in Great Neck. It's so embarrassing. So does anybody else have any other stories that they want to share about something? Who's that? Somebody coming in?
I'll come in.
Yeah, Gina.
So yeah, I'll piggyback on that. Yes, I would love to do that video for you, and I would definitely humiliate myself in public any time for you. But I think this is a time for deep reflection, and I feel like this is an enormous opportunity for us as humans at this time. And I think if we can change our mindset a little bit as to what we feel like is been taken away from us as to what has been given to us, because this is truly an extraordinary time that this has been offered to us. And it is, the time is what's been offered to us, an opportunity to really reflect and go in. The only way to get out is to go in. And there's a little blurb here I'd like to read, because this is also the full moon. You've picked a beautiful night to do this, because this is extraordinary, because they have all these people here in a collective, like minds, like everything. And so what they're offering, the biggest full moon of 2020 is happening now. So between, I don't know what the hours are, but it's happening right now. So tonight's powerful supermoon symbolizes rebirth and will drive us to make room for new blessings to enter our lives, such as real love, profound relationships, new habits, new skills that fulfill our deepest desires. It is time to let go of old patterns, situations, and connections to that no longer serves us. so we can enter the next level of our lives. Now, anybody who knows you for a minute, Wendy, understands that there is nothing that happens that does not take us to our next level. So this is the time to be awake, aware, and very present in your own existence, because now is a time for us as a collective to come together and raise the vibration and help escort. Not everybody's coming with us on this journey, but I really think it's a really important time for us to really connect to ourselves, to set new boundaries for ourselves. I think that's the biggest thing that I have gotten out of all this, is the boundaries that now need to be set. The time alone and in the stillness is where we're going to get our answers. And this is the universe. When the universe speaks, we need to listen. And now, more than ever, the universe is going to escort us where we were not able to take ourselves. And this is what this time is about. It's an elevation of humanity. It's an elevation of vibration. And it's not over what we're going through. It's the beginning. So I really feel like this is the time for everybody to kind of step up and do what we need to do. And this format is light, it has levity, it is perfect to raise the vibration on a totally different level, but it's here. And I'm just a little disappointed it's not naughty at all. I thought perhaps maybe there'd be a little bit of naughty, but I'll take it. I'm happy to be with all of you. I know some of you, I don't know some of you, but I do know all of you on a very, very deeper level. So thank you.
Gina, thank you, sweetheart. So just for anyone who doesn't know, Gina is a Reiki master. She's a personal trainer and a Reiki master, and she's also a medical intuitive. So she can kind of scan your body like beep, 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 and then she knows what's wrong with you. I know it sounds really weird for some of you on this call, but I watched Gina perform miracles in the cave. She does Reiki circles, she does one-on-one. I just got a text yesterday from a man who had a session with Gina 2 months ago, and he cannot believe that he's still feeling good. He was able to let go of a lot of trauma, and she helped him a lot. So Gina also works through the cave, and she's outstanding. Someone just said you should have a second career in this. Well, you do. You actually have a first career in this. And someone said it was profound. So is there anybody else who wants to share a story before we get to the ending?
So I just want to add to what Gina was saying, because about the full moon. I was listening to Kim Russo the other night. You know, Kim and Wendy are friends, and she's a psychic medium. And what she was saying is that we're moving into this new place on a planetary level. There's a lot of shifts happening, and we're moving out of the mind space to the heart. So to have this experience through the heart and to let go of the fear, which is the ego and mind. And it's not just the full moon, the biggest moon, it's also a pink moon, which aligns with the heart. So meditating through the heart right now is really important. A lot of meditation through the letting go, walk your truth. A lot of us knew that things couldn't continue to go the way they were going on the a big shift was happening on a bigger level, and it's here. And the time is now to just meditate and live your truth, and live through your heart.
Can I say something? I don't know. Can I be heard?
Yeah, we can hear you, honey.
Hi. So this is I'm actually going to use that. I actually started cooking a little bit while listening to you, but I wanted to share actually something that was extremely interesting to me, because I can feel my chakras sometimes. But today, my crown chakra and my base, my feet, actually the thinner skin on my feet are like crazy. I've never felt that before. I can physically feel how strong the energy goes through them. And at some point, it was my throat chakra, and I was wondering if that was because of the moon. So I don't know if it was just. I still feel my feet. The head was like almost like I had
a volcano exploding out of my head because it was just so strong. I've never had that before. I felt the chakras, but I didn't have that to that extent. So it was just interesting.
Marcelina, that's the thing. This is a time, I know that to some people that sounds out there, but, everyone's going through their own experience, and we all at different levels of what we believe or what we don't believe, and that's fine. And because you are so tuned in, you are probably feeling like shifts in the energy, because the energy of the world is changing right now. For, no matter what you believe, it is changing, and everybody can see that. Like, this time is so unprecedented, and it's hard to, know exactly what's going on. But everyone is having their own experience, and everyone's going to decide on, how they're going to go through this. And so you feeling that is real. It's definitely real for you, and there is energy changing. So thank you for saying that. I just wanted to bring on my brother and my sister-in-law in California, Warren and Kari Shulman. They're my partners in the Salt Cave. That's my big brother, Warren, and then my beautiful sister-in-law, Kari. You guys can unmute. Are you unmuted?
Yeah. We're unmuted.
Oh, okay, good. So I just wanted everybody to see you and meet you. My brother and I are 10.5 months apart. Don't ask me how that happened. My dad must have been a magician, but I feel like and we are actually opening a second location in California, which is weirdly being built right now. So strange. But anyway, guys, so I wanted to, does anyone want to say anything else? Or?
All I want to say is, Wendy and everybody, this has been an amazing experience, and thank you so much for curating this. I'm emotional. It's just, I'm so proud of you.
Aw, that's my beautiful sister-in-law, Kari. Thank you, my sweet. So now I'm not going to say anything else about her because I don't want to cry. It's the first time I put on makeup in weeks. So now I want to introduce you all to Paula Jennings. So where did we find Paula? Where is she, that beautiful fairy? Okay, so Paula is another one of those fairies who popped out of the sky and walked into the cave. And she is a Kundalini yoga teacher. She's actually known, and I'm going to try and say this in one mouthful, but she's a multifaceted evolutionary thought leader. She's kind of like a mystical alchemist. And she was a Wall Street hotshot. And then she started teaching Kundalini yoga because she went through her own life, transformation. And now she's a transformational coach, and she does teach at the Salt Cave, and she does workshops and events and sound healing. And I read something on your website today, Paula, that where are you, love? I just lost you.
Here. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can hear you, but I want to just bring you on so everyone can see you. There she is. So what something, and I hope I get this right. You wrote, in the times I've had my face in the sand, that I've learned more about myself. Oh, sorry. It's the times I've had my face in the sand that I've learned more about myself and life than the times I've celebrated the material victories. So I don't know. They just hit me in a good way, and I felt like that. Yeah, true. So welcome, Paula, and thank you also for volunteering to do some sound healing for us tonight.
It's absolutely my pleasure. And I am so grateful for the day that I walked into the cave and met you. And I remember distinctly the day I met Mary, and I met Linda and Gina. And I just want to thank all of you, incredibly gifted and uplifters. Each one of you is an uplifter and a leader in the community. So thank you for inviting me here tonight. I loved the content, and I loved all of the beautiful contributions from Gina about the full moon, and from Linda talking about, how food is medicine, because that is definitely one of my mantras. It's really important that we nourish ourselves with physical food, and also how we care for ourselves. And this is really the time, as Gina said, also to really connect into that still place where you connect to your own identity. And as you said, Wendy, it's really important for us to keep our spirits up right now and our vibrations high. One of the things that's really lifting me up is going for a walk in my neighborhood every day and seeing the rainbows and all the posters and the pictures that all the kids are posting in the windows. So I'm really delighted to be here and to see everybody. What an incredible testament to you, Wendy, that you have such a full house on this virtual event. I have a feeling there's going to be more. So let's get started. The meditation I chose for tonight is a Taoist practice. It's called the Inner Smile meditation, and it basically it will take us through smiling at each one of our organs. And so what does this do? This really helps to clear negative emotions. And as Wendy was saying, before you go to bed, it's a really great practice, because we want, night before we go to sleep, we want to feel good in our body. We want to feel positive, because when we rest, that's when we're in homeostasis and we allow our body to really be open to healing. So I'm going to invite everybody. What I'm going to do, it's a guided meditation. It's about 10 minutes. So I'd love everybody to get as comfortable as they can wherever they're sitting. If you have the opportunity to lie down, you could do that. Just nobody's watching. Just allow yourself to get really comfortable. We can even shake it out a little bit if you have the wiggles, and just get the wiggles out. And you're going to come gently and close your eyes. And so closing the eyes and starting to relax the whole body. Breathing slowly and smoothly, letting go on the exhalation. Smoothing your facial muscles and just focusing your attention on the third eye. This is the point, the midpoint of the brow. Just rest your gaze gently there and feel inner joy. Connect to inner joy. Visualizing a peaceful scene, a smiling baby, or a smiling face that may evoke this feeling. And gathering this bliss behind your eyes, watch it internally as it travels down your body. Let the smiling energy flow like a sweet stream down your nose to wash over your lips. Raise the corner of the mouth slightly in a sublime inner smile. Simultaneously feel the softening of your eyes. Place the tongue behind the teeth to connect the energy circuit for the entire practice. Relaxing your jaw. Feel your throat open and relax as you smile to your voice box. Thank them for giving you the power of balance and speech. Visualize your thymus gland like a blossoming flower and smile to it, thanking it for strong immunity and healing energy. Let the smile radiate to the happiness center of your heart. Feel the heart soften and fill with red love nectar. Release cruelty, harshness, hastiness, impatience, and hurt from the heart on the exhalation. Let's take an inhale and we can say ha on the exhale. So inhaling, ha, releasing any negative energy, sending a smiling love letter to your open heart. Thanking your heart for giving you compassion, kindness, joy, as well as good circulation. So gathering the loving energy from the heart and spread it to your lovely lungs. Sense every cell relax as it releases grief and depression. Exhaling the sound. You can also visualize them as glowing white wings carrying you to a higher mission. Swelling with a smiling gap. Let the inner smile come to your liver as it emanates a forest green hue, releasing gray murky light on the exhalation. Release anger and resentment on the sound shh. Again, smiling in taking a smiling inhalation and allowing the smile to absorb kindness, forgiveness, and acceptance. Thank the liver for its role in assimilation, metabolism, and purification of toxins. Send pure smiling streams to your stomach, your pancreas, and spleen. Visualize these organs basking in a golden yellow light as they relax to release worry and anxiety while exhaling the sound "Hugh, Hugh." Feel faith, fairness, and present-minded consciousness saturate this whole region. Thank the organs for maintaining healthy digestion, immunity, and blood sugar levels. Keeping your body relaxed, sending the loving smile to the kidneys. Visualize them like deep blue ears, releasing fear and stress from them while exhaling the sound chew. Smile to them as they fill with soothing security, wisdom, and calm. Thank them for the adrenals. Thank them and thanking the adrenals for filtering the blood, balancing water, and increasing our stress resistance. Strong kidneys also give us the willpower to act on our convictions. Smiling into the pelvic bone, into the pelvic area, filling it with a tender, loving energy and appreciating the pleasure and power it gives you. To finish, smile all the way up your spine, washing the body with golden nectar, flowing from each vertebra throughout the nervous system, making its way up from the base of spine all the way through to the bone marrow, the bones, the muscle, and the hair. Imagining a waterfall smiling, rising as it rises to your crown, showering your whole body in a smiling ecstasy. Allow the energy to flow back down behind your eyes and pool in your navel. Now we'll imagine that there's a spiral energy around your navel, placing the palms of your hands right over your navel, and imagining that this spiraling energy starts to rise up from the navel, all the way up through the body, and then back down, spiraling back down. Imagining the whole body is surrounded by this beautiful smile, the smiling rainbow. Keeping the gaze at the third eye, at the brow point, as you inhale and exhale, the smiles. Allowing the sound of the vibration to raise the energy of each of your cells, refreshing it, lightening it, bringing joy. And slowly, slowly fluttering the eyes open, coming back into the space, feeling yourself refreshed, hopefully lightened and joyful. It's an absolutely beautiful evening. If anybody wants to go take a walk to bask in the beautiful glow of the full moon, this pink full moon, it's a pleasure to serve you tonight. Thank you very much, Wendy. Back to you.
Wendy, we can't hear you. You're mute. Wendy, you're muted.
I'm unmuted everybody except me. That was brilliant. I said you don't have to have an accent if you want to work at Roslyn Salt Cave. I hope that everybody enjoyed that. And, you know, we had fun putting it together, Mary and Linda and I. Thank you, ladies, for putting so much effort in. And thank you to Talia and to Nick and to Chris. I really appreciate everybody's time and all of you for coming on and supporting us. And I hope that it did, you know, you learned one thing, or you smiled at least once, or you felt a little bit happy, or did everybody like it?
And can I just thank all the family and friends that agreed to participate in this little experiment? I had a lot of family that came on, and I'm very grateful.
Yes.
I agree.
So guys, did you enjoy it?
Very much.
Wonderful.
Yes.
It's great.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
everybody. Sue.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
So everybody, you know, take care of yourselves and stay safe. And we are here for you if you need us. We all here, you know, all of us, all the healers, and sending you lots of love. And hopefully we'll see you soon.
Happy holidays.
Bye. Yes, everybody, happy holidays. Bye.
Happy Passover. Happy Easter.
Bye, everybody.
Wendy, fantastic.
Thank you, everyone. That was incredible.
You know what? Before everybody goes, where's Linda? Are you still there?
Are your parents still here?
You know, before everybody goes, Linda, do you want to tell everybody about your program for the doctors?
Thanks, Louie. That was great.
Thank you. I know that everybody's donating to lots of different places, or if you're trying to find somewhere that you could help. I have a very good friend that works at New York Presbyterian, and she has been speaking to all the heads of the departments. And one of the departments that really struck a chord with her was all the new residents. For those that don't know, here in New York, the medical students who were supposed to graduate in July had to start now because there's not enough doctors. So they're all working now. So their first, if you think about it, their first introduction into being full-time doctors is with COVID-19, which is not the norm. Nobody's seen this before. It's unprecedented times. So they're actually working around the clock. They're not leaving the hospitals, and they're sleeping there so they don't then go home to contaminate their families. They're very overwhelmed, scared. And although there is so many donations going to the hospitals, they're spread across to everybody. And those that, like, I know her family in Australia, the hospitals here are extremely big. And those donations are getting spread across. So she called and asked, could I help organize some snacks, healthy snacks that we can send that will just go to the new residents, so that they have something to snack on in between them having naps when they have 2 or 3 hours before they have to get back onto their shifts again. So if you are interested, even if it's like $5, $10, we're sending bulk orders that are going direct to them. We will be sending out an email with everybody's information and the information on that if you did want to contribute. And I know everybody's situation is different. Some people have lost their livelihood right now. So whatever you can give, or if you've already been donating somewhere, thank you so much. If not, you can contact me directly if you are interested. And thank you to everybody that came on. Everybody that came on from all different time zones. My family came on to support me, so thank you. And for Wendy for creating this community that has given so much to me, and I know to everybody else that has come on here tonight. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, everybody. And sending you lots of love. And just stay safe and stay positive. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.